Hello. I'm recording on two devices, so I'm just setting that up right now. And it's so beautiful to be here with you in this sacred space, in this sacred portal from my space to yours. You are getting very sleepy now. You are getting very sleepy now. Just kidding. This is an induction, a way to induce hypnosis using a pendulum. This is often what people think of when I mention hypnosis or hypnotherapy, and it's a fun divination tool too. However, I am coming here today on this beautiful Gemini new moon. New moons are great for initiating things, starting new things, and Spirit's been really calling me to make more videos and to use my voice more. And so I'm coming here with something I'm so passionate about and something that really just lights me up. And this is about imagineering our reality to achieve results in our life. So let's break this down a little bit. So imagineering is a word that has recently come into my field to kind of encapsulate using the sacred portal of our imagination in order to, oh goodness, I realized I didn't start the other video, so I'm going to start it now. I'm coming here today to speak about imagineering our reality in order to achieve results in our life. And it's something I'm so passionate about, being that I'm such an avid dream worker, and through my practices of hypnotherapy and hypnosis, it really is using those imaginal realms, imaginal healing and medicine, because truly the body is a product of the mind, because the body is within the world of form. And so using our mind to create our body and our world in a way that we wish to see is so empowering and something that is inherent within each of us. So Imagineering is a word that recently has come to me that kind of I feel a deep resonance with, in terms, like, it makes me think of engineering. So it's like, making our reality work in a way that uses those sacred imagination realms, given that we are all the magi's of our nation, of our world, of our dream. And that when we take that power into our minds, then we can see great strides in terms of personal, human, and collective evolution. So let's see here. Okay, let's start talking about something that has come to me recently while I'm out in nature. One time I was running in the bosque by the river, and this dawned on me in that I think the world has become pretty imbalanced. And I think we can all agree about this, about how the patriarchy has highly come off kilter to where men are seen above women and women's voices and ways of healing, and that creative right brain, female, imaginative aspect has been kind of stifled in a way. And then we're so attached in this Western society, especially, to the left brain, facts and science and proof and logical reasoning and analyzing and things like that. And we've gotten ourselves into this huge conundrum, pickle where it's like just because you can't see something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So this goes for a lot of different things, This goes for spiritual psychic healing. This goes for the wind. You don't see the wind, but it's there. Or love. Love is a fabric that holds literally this whole realm and this whole world and universe together. Can you see love? You can feel it. You can feel the love. You can feel the wind. And feeling is also akin, I feel, to the feminine, to the right brain, to the imaginative, creative portals that will be the way of our liberation personally and collectively. And everything is a microcosm and a macrocosm, a fractal of the other. So how can we liberate our consciousness by imagineering our reality to achieve results in our personal life and collective life for our greater healing and awakening? So it's this element of like, you have to believe in order to perceive things. And often the left brain, masculine patriarchy, wants the facts first before they'll believe something, that whole system or like paradigm. And this isn't to like bash the masculine or anything like that. I'm just kind of saying things how I witness them in the energetics of it. And so it's this idea of switching it into that first we have to believe. We have to believe in the new earth. We have to shift our consciousness from that fear-based programming, from the news, from, drama and gossip and just those low level vibrational ways of being, into believing what we wish to create in ourselves, in our life, and in our world before we're able to see it reflected back to us. Because as the world is just a dream, and because in that macrocosmic, multidimensional perspective, everything is just one, everything is just God, perceiving God, and we're just riding on the wings of the Great Spirit here in this like karmic earth portal, remembering who we are collectively. That we have to believe it first, because you can think of the world like a hologram. And there's this really awesome book that blew my mind when I was really young. It was called The Holographic Universe by Michael Talbot, I believe. And it's basically this idea that we are projecting the world, and the whole world is a hologram, a holographic dream. And so, wow, just that idea alone, it means that everything that the yogis and the mystics and the philosophers have been saying for years and years and centuries and millennia, to go within, and that everything is within, and truly it is this portal of the heart, again coming back to that male-female balance dynamic, going from the brain of being too up in the head of the masculine and building that rainbow bridge down into the heart, the portal of the heart, of the feminine, of the heartbeat, of the maternal ancestral lineage that connects us to our ancestors and to those spirit guides who are always here around us and truly live through us. Yeah, it's coming from the heart. And from the heart, we can see truly, we can see that we are limitless, we are infinite, we are eternal, and we can create heaven on earth right from beneath our feet, right from the tips of our fingers. And with this, so I've done a lot of work around this. Back when I was really struggling and, really hurt, and I felt like my whole life had been swept away from me. It felt like a rug was pulled out from under me, and I lost very suddenly, kind of like within a span of just like months within the same time, lost my relationship, lost my job and sense of security. My health went haywire, and all of my friendships were transitioning. So I was like, what the heck is going on? It was definitely a karmic thing because, as I say, it's all a hologram, and what you get put out, you get back. So I learned the lesson deeply of integrity within my bones so that now I can actually thank that experience because I truly had to learn what it was like to act out of integrity and live this life that truly wasn't in alignment with my soul path and wasn't empowering to me, and see the emptiness and the hollowness that that built for myself in a way. I mean, not every aspect of my life was colored in that lens, but some aspects were. And then in losing it all, it humbled me so much, and it made me realize how my actions deeply affect others and how thoughts create and how everyone is psychic and people can feel our thoughts and our energy. And it made me realize how what a place to be, rock bottom, you know? And just as I see that, I see my angel number. Um, what a place to be, because when you're at rock bottom, there's no further down to go. You're right there on your ass and you're humbled the fuck by life. And sometimes life is like that Saturn energy, the great teacher that teaches you, you reap what you sow, and you're going to get back what you put out because it's all just us interacting with ourselves. So, uh, through that, when I was in that dark space, when I felt like I had nothing, um, it was really hard for me to focus on anything else. I was like, why don't I have love in my life? Why don't I feel like I have this and that? And it was almost just this merry-go-round of that same thing playing over and over. And it was like this longing for my desires, but I felt like I couldn't make strides to create them, if that made sense. And I started doing some hypnotherapy work with one of my mentors I've been working with, Victoria, and she is this amazing hypnotist, and she used to do this for a living, and she kind of just is more casual about it these days. But we've created some sessions, and um, the first session she gave me, before that, I would wake up so depressed that I just wanted to die every time I woke up. Like, what an existence that is compared to now, where I wake up so excited and with such a luster and passion for life. And I can't wait to get out of bed and just like start my day. And because my life is so filled with my passions now. Back then, I honestly lost my passions. I didn't really know what made me happy. Even music, like, I wasn't listening to any music because nothing brought me joy anymore. And I think it's because I felt like it was so hard to deal with the pain of my wounds that I had been operating from and reliving through that whole dream I had dreamt that I had the spirit, swept away from me. Um, I had to relearn what I liked and what I wanted authentically. And so it was amazing in this session how she reminded me. I went to her, and this is often too what clients will come to me with is like, I'm feeling depressed and angry, and I don't want this and I don't want that, and I don't want to feel angry. So like being conscious of this lingo. The subconscious mind doesn't understand no or don't or negatives. So we have to frame things in the opposite of what we're experiencing, of the symptoms that we do not prefer, into the symptoms that we do prefer. And this is where the creative, feminine, imaginative realms come in, because we have to kind of like wish upon a star and wave that magic wand for ourselves to dream a new dream so that we can get out of that hamster wheel cycle of reliving that same trauma, same wound, and like picking up the wound of our past that often stems from very early on in this current life or even past lives. So I had never thought about it like that. I mean, I thought I was manifesting things, and I would pray and meditate and journal and things, but I didn't really feel it. And feeling truly is the secret in creating a new reality. And when we imagine things, the subconscious does not know the difference between imagined um, versus real reality. So this is why we have so much power there. And so it's so easy to, mull over circumstances that we don't prefer. Like, if this wasn't happening, then I'd be happy. And why is this thing here? This and that. It's like you just have to surrender and totally accept where you're currently at. Take responsibility and don't be a victim anymore. And that's what I really had to learn. I had to get out of that learned helplessness, that powerlessness, that victimhood, that little me story of why is this happening to me, and turn that into life is happening for me. And deep trust, deep faith, even though when you're in it, it's really fucking hard to do, to have that deep faith. But persist in the wish fulfilled, persist in that dream that you're calling in, and I promise it will come. And sometimes it does have a lag time when we're really working through that density and, trying to just witness the beauty behind how deeply we can feel and how much life can humble us. Because that contrast, oh my God, that I lived, like, literally gave me so much appreciation and gratitude for where I'm at now. I would not have had my character shaped the way that it has been shaped, or have the appreciation that I truly have for all the soul friends I have in my life now, all the new people that I was able to make space for through letting go of what was not for me, and all the new opportunities in all realms of life, in health, in career, and in love, and in friendship, and in connection, and in education. My whole life, complete transformation. So, again, quantum hopping or leaping timelines requires us to persist in what we prefer versus what are those undesired circumstances that are playing out. So I love this analogy in that, what is the true prayer? Is it when you're at your altar and doing your little manifestation things and saying your affirmations for like 10 minutes in the morning, or whenever you do your rituals or manifestation work? Is that the prayer, or is the prayer the rest of your whole day where you're in doubt and fear and worry and like buying into the dream of what the 3D is reflecting back to you of your own impatience or frustration? The true prayer is the one that you pray most of the time, and life is its own ceremony. So how can we view life not when we're in the ceremony space or at the altar? Life is our altar. So how can we weave that perspective so that we can be very mindful each and every second of the day of what prayer, what dream am I creating for myself right now? And then give yourself permission with your imagination and your imaginary wand to create internally the highest and best circumstances that you want for yourself. And stay in that frame of mind, like, see with the eyes of your heart, see with the eyes of your oversoul, so that anything that comes in your 3D realm, you kind of like alchemize it and say, I'm intending this, and let it be so, and let it be so, and let it be so, and just keep persisting in that. And the 3D does have kind of a bit of a lag, so it does take that element of trust and faith and surrender. And honestly, we have so much tools in terms of giving everything up to the Great Spirit or to our spiritual team or down to the mother, spending time in nature, etc. So I want to reel this in because it's getting a little long, and I really hope that this was of use to you, because I know that just a lot of these concepts really were the shift for me, and I hope that they can be the shift for you too. And may we all imagineer our highest and best reality so that we can create heaven within and without, as it all starts from the vantage point of our consciousness.